Hello everyone, this is Eduardo. So today I'm going to go ahead and walk you guys through setting up Nessus on your machine. And we're going to go ahead and set up a Windows 10 virtual client on VMware. We're going to then perform uncredentialed and credentialed scans against that machine. We're going to install some old deprecated software, and we're going to perform remediations on the vulnerabilities that Nessus scans. And we're going to go ahead and also talk about how you can automate this process, schedule your scans, have certain automation for certain remediation tasks. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. You're going to want to first get your VM workstation player installed. So I've already installed it on my workstation here. And then afterward, after you've installed that, you're going to want to get Windows 10 ISO. You're going to want to do it through the Create Windows 10 installation media. Go ahead and hit download, and it's going to allow you to download the ISO and just save it somewhere you'll remember. So next up, you're going to want to go ahead and download Nessus. You're going to go ahead and select the professional version and hit try. It's going to walk you through this sign up process. You get a 7-day free trial. I've already done it, and then you'll receive a confirmation code with an activation code in your email. So go ahead and follow that email. So once you get the email, it was pretty interesting for me. It sent me to the login screen. It said I had to create a password, but I had to actually request a password reset. Then I was able to sign in and get my access code, and then go to the download section. So we're going to go ahead and download Nessus. We're going to go ahead and scroll down, and this is the one we're going to download: the Windows Server 2008 through 10 through 2019 through 2022. We're going to go ahead and just hit download here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go through the installation process here for Nessus. The standard install location is fine. We're going to go ahead and let that go. Okay, so we'll go ahead and hit finish. It's going to go ahead and open up this Nessus welcome screen. You're going to want to save this URL so that way you know how to connect to it future times, because trying to locate it again can be troublesome. So we're going to go ahead and connect via SSL. It's going to give us this warning. We're just going to go ahead and hit advance and proceed. It's going to take a little while all of this installs. Okay, and so while that's loading, we're actually going to go ahead and jump on creating our virtual machine. So we're going to go ahead and head over to VMware Player. We're going to select new virtual machine, and we're going to locate that ISO we got for Windows 10. So let's go ahead and browse. I believe I put it in my downloads. Let's double check here. There it is. Okay, go ahead and select that. We're going to go ahead and hit next. The name is fine. We're just going to name it that. And the location is fine as well. We're going to just change it to 50. We're going to leave it as virtual. That's fine. We're going to customize our hardware. Okay, and 2 gigs of RAM is fine. Processors 2 is fine for this machine that I'm using. And under network adapter, we're actually going to go ahead and change it to bridged. This will be able to connect directly to the physical network. Essentially, this is going to allow our Nessus configuration to talk to our virtual machine better. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit close and finish. And we're going to go ahead and wait for that to load. Okay, so it's going to go ahead and launch, and you're just going to want to let it do its thing here. While our VM is loading, we're going to go ahead and just select Nessus Essentials, and we're going to go ahead and put in our credentials here. Okay, so it's going to have you enter your name, email, and then activation code. And then you're going to want to go ahead and create a username and password, and go ahead and make sure you set this password to something that you'll remember. Okay, let that go. On your virtual machine, you can hit Control-Alt if you're on Windows to put your cursor in or out of the virtual machine. We'll go ahead and let both of these load up simultaneously. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and set up Windows. We're gonna go through the standard installation process. So we're gonna go to I don't have a product key, and we're gonna select Windows 10 Pro. And we're just gonna go through the standard installation process. Accept, custom, select the disk space that we created. And we're just gonna let that go. Okay, everything's almost about done. So we're gonna actually go ahead and just close this for now. We won't need it. I'm just gonna fly through the Windows installation process. Okay, so we're actually gonna give this the name admin because we're gonna need this for credential scans. And then go ahead and make it a password that you'll remember because you're gonna be using it to do those credential scans as mentioned. And then go ahead and just create these secret questions. Okay, so now that we've got the VM started, we're gonna just hit install tools. Okay, we're gonna just go through that installation here for the VM, hopefully help speed things up, make it a little smoother. Press finish. It's going to ask you to do a restart, so go ahead and do that. Go ahead and get signed in here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and try to resize it now. And it is allowing for resizing. Very good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and head over to command prompt within the virtual machine. We're going to go ahead and type in ipconfig because we want to get the IPv4 address. Okay, and so now what we're going to try to do is on our actual machine, we're going to go ahead and open up our command prompt on our machine proper here. And we're going to do ping 169 dot 254 232.219 dash T, so that it's perpetual. And it looks like it's not pinging. And we're just gonna make sure we got that all typed in correctly. It's not something you'd want to do on your actual workstation. Okay, so we're gonna go to Windows Defender Firewall Properties. And for these first three, domain, private, and public, we're actually gonna turn them off. Like I said, as mentioned, this is not something you normally do in a production setting, but we're gonna go ahead and do it for the demonstration purposes. Okay, and then okay, so we're gonna go ahead and try to ping it again. And now that we've disabled the firewall on our virtual machine. Okay, so after troubleshooting a little bit here, because our virtual machine was not connecting to the internet, I was able to diagnose it. I had to go into player manage virtual machine settings. And I had to go to network adapter. I went ahead and checked this on, and we went to configure adapters, and we unchecked all of the ones that we don't need. We only selected this one. Okay, the Marvel Avastar wireless AC network controller. We hit okay, and everything worked good, and it was able to connect. So we should be able to ping our machine now. So we're gonna do ipconfig. Okay, Everything looks good so far. And we're gonna go ahead and try to ping it on our actual workstation. Okay, so we're gonna do ping 192.168.1.34-T. Okay, and looks like we have connection. All right, so we're gonna hit Control C to stop. And so under here, we're gonna go ahead and paste our IP address of our virtual machine, and we're just gonna name this Windows 10 scan, client scan. Okay, and here's where you can adjust the settings for your scan. You can set a scheduled one to happen every so often. For discovery, you can choose the ports that you want to scan, either all ports, common ports, custom. You can adjust the assessment here if you'd like. Adjust your report, advanced. And here under credentials is where you could actually provide login credentials to have a credentialed scan on that machine. Okay, so now that we have this scan configured, we're going to go ahead and hit save. Oh, you actually have to remove these credentials here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and hit save now. Okay, so this is your saved scan here. So we're going to go ahead and run it. Okay, so it's running, and if you click on it, you can actually get some live details as it's running. So it's going to have history, some vulnerabilities, hosts. But we're going to go ahead and just head back on over to this main page and wait for the scan to finish. So it looks like our scan finished. You can see by the completed check mark there. So we're going to go ahead and click on there. And it looks like it has some, these are the different categories. It's got critical, high, medium, low, and just info. So we'll go ahead and head over to vulnerabilities. So right here, we see we have a medium one where it says SMB signing not required. So it's accepting SMB through port 445, but it wasn't able to go in deeper because we did not provide credentials. So if we go back to vulnerabilities, we can also see that it's got ICMP. Okay, and it's pretty interesting right here. So if you take a look, it does have some remediations right here. So it says a possible solution could be enforce message signing in the host client configuration on Windows. This is found in the policy settings, and it tells you where you need to go. So very interesting stuff. In just a second, we're going to go ahead and do a credentialed scan. But these are actually pretty good information so that you can harden your workstation. Okay, so we're actually going to go configure our virtual machine right now to allow for better credential scans. So we're going to go into services. Okay. And we're actually going to go down to, we're actually going to go to remote registry. This is going to allow Nessus to see the registry, and it'll allow it to better see software installed on this machine. We're going to go ahead and select automatic. We're going to hit OK. Okay, and next up, we're going to do another configuration here. This is just for lab purposes. This is not something that you would do on a regular work machine, but we're going to go ahead and turn this off just so we can allow Nessus to better be able to read this machine. Okay, so next up, we're actually going to go to the registry to add a key that's going to allow further remote account access. Okay, so we're going to go over to, and these instructions are provided on the Nessus website. So we're going to go to local machine. We're going to go to, we're going to go to software. We're going to go to Microsoft. I'm going to Windows, current version. Now go ahead and link to the instructions in this video. And then we're going to select system. Okay, and in here, we're gonna go ahead and create a D word called local account token filter policy. So we're gonna go ahead and right click new, and we're gonna select D word 32-bit value, and we're gonna name it local account token filter policy. Okay, and we're gonna click away. Local account token filter. Oh, let me rename that. Filter policy. Okay, so we're gonna go to right click and we're gonna hit modify, and we're going to change the value to 1 and press OK. Okay, so now that we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and close out of here, and we're gonna go ahead and do a restart on our virtual machine. So we're gonna go ahead and sign into our machine again. We're actually gonna head back to Nessus, and we're gonna modify the scan here in order to allow for a credentialed scan. So we're gonna go over here under more, configure, and we're gonna go to credentials, and we're gonna do Windows, select password, and this is where you're gonna enter the credentials for your virtual machine that we set up earlier. We're gonna leave these as standard. Save that. Back to my scans, and we're gonna go ahead and run it once again. I'll get back to you guys once it's finished. Okay, so it looks like the scan finished, and we're gonna go ahead and look at the vulnerabilities here. Wow, so it looks like we have a lot more critical and high. Before we had one medium, so we can go into the vulnerabilities, and it looks like a lot of them are due to Windows probably being out of date. So for example, this one right here is Windows. A lot of these are with Microsoft Edge. So a good remediation right here. It's telling us to upgrade Microsoft Edge to the latest version, or a newer version at least. If we hit under remediations, yep, a lot of these. So it has 305 vulnerabilities due to Edge. There is security updates for Windows Defender. It wants us to install this KB item. So essentially, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and look at the VPR top threats. So these are rated threats. So this one right here is the highest rated threat, and it tells you a little bit about what the threat is and what the solution would be. Before we do that, before we go ahead and start remediating, we're actually going to make the scan worse. So I'm going to go ahead and install this old version of Firefox, and we're going to see if Nessus is able to detect that. And then we're going to remediate it, of course. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and download and install this. So this software right here is really old. This is from 2015. So you would obviously not want to run this. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and not launch Firefox. We're all done with, so we can see Firefox installed on there. We're gonna go back over here to Nessus, and we're gonna go ahead and perform another scan. We're gonna let that go for a couple minutes, and I'll be back with you guys in just a second. Okay, so we're back with the new scan, and wow, look at that. We have so many critical and high. So let's go ahead and take a look at the vulnerabilities, and yep, 151 are related to this Firefox. So if we click on one of them, we can see these are a lot of vulnerabilities. Our recommendations are going to be to upgrade Microsoft Firefox, and a lot of these other ones are going to be for Microsoft Edge and Windows. So I'm going to go ahead and perform an update on our virtual machine. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that software. And we're just gonna go into update and security and check for updates. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and download and install all of these Windows updates. It's probably gonna want to reboot the machine multiple times. So I'll go ahead and get back to you once it's rebooted, installed, and I'll go ahead and perform another scan on Nessus. We got our last scan in, and as we can see, it still has a couple high and critical. We went ahead and saw one of these right here. Let's take a look at this mixed one. It's got Microsoft Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer has been since deprecated. We're not supposed to be using Internet Explorer. So I actually already remedied this. So it gave me some documentation as to how to do it. So we go to local group and policy editor. We went into Windows components, and we pulled up Internet Explorer, and then within this, there was disable Internet Explorer. And so we went ahead and right clicked, we went ahead and edited, and we went ahead and enabled, and it would be notified the users each time that they try to open up Internet Explorer. So if we try to open it now, let's take a look. Internet Explorer. Okay, let's try to open it. Yes, this action is restricted. For more information, please contact your system administrator. So we've corrected this issue. We just haven't rescanned. So we're going to look at the VRP top threads. So we still have some high scoring ones here. There's still some more remediation that could be done. If we look at the history, so this is our current one. So our previous scan was very bad. We had 27% critical, 33% high, and 6% medium, and then the rest was just information. So if we compare that to even this was our uncredentialed scan. This right here was our credentialed scan. So 11%, 25%, even compared to this one, we're doing a lot better. And like I said, I've already addressed this critical one right here by disabling Internet Explorer. So still some more work to do on this machine, but it's in a lot better shape than even when we deployed a fresh install of Windows. So this is gonna pretty much wrap up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So we went ahead and, like I said, so we set up our virtual machine on VMware, and we were able to configure it to allow Nessus to communicate with it and perform credentialed vulnerability scans. And we remediated some of those. Some of the things that you can do to help automate the process would be to allowing for auto update on third-party applications. And you could do auto updates for Windows, but in most organizations, you're going to want an administrator to first greenlight most updates to ensure that they're not going to conflict with the current setup. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.